Hello again, and once again welcome to a Replica Airguns video. I'm Michael K, and we're looking at the full tabletop review for the King Arms Colt M4A1 metal AEG airsoft rifle. I did a quick preview video of this gun and went over some of the basic info on it and a quick look around the gun. But today we're going to go into some more detail. Now this is an AEG gun. I did do a previous review of my Wee Scar, which was a gas blowback airsoft rifle. Now the difference being the gas blowback rifles use either CO2, propane, or green gas. And that's what is used to not only cycle the bolt, but also propel the BB. Now with an AEG airsoft rifle, the gun will use an electric motor that cycles a spring, and that spring creates the air pressure that propels the BB. AEG stands for Automatic Electric Gun. Now a little bit of trivia about the M4 design. It's an update of the M16 design, which was based on the original AR-15. Now the difference between the M4 and the M4A1 is that the M4 had semi-auto fire and 3-round burst, whereas the M4A1 had semi-automatic and full auto. So that's just a little bit of trivia that explains the differences between the M4 and the M4A1. Now if you haven't noticed, this is a very good replica of the Colt M4A1 carbine in the 5.56mm round. This airsoft rifle is made in Hong Kong. Now it comes in a rather nice box here. We'll take a quick look at it. And you'll notice these stickers. These stickers were actually on the gun. Let's see if I can show them to you. Sorry, they're kind of flimsy. The Made in Hong Kong was actually over some of the licensing. And the other one here, Not a Toy, was, I believe, I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was also on the receiver. Just wanted to show you that. I took them off. They weren't very appealing to me. So the box is quite nice. You can see here it's been adjusted up in feet per second to accommodate our Canadian laws. Specifications here. Quickly show you in the box really quick. You can see it has a nice foam lining on the top. Now there is a manual. I will show you the manual in a bit, but I just wanted to show you the quality of the internals of the box. It did also come with this cleaning rod here. And as I said, also in the box were a couple of manuals, and this is the King Arms one here. Nice detailed graphics. Makes it easy to work with this gun, use it, operate it, set it up. Parts diagram. There's your cyber gun. I believe this is a cyber gun manual. A lot of repetition in here. Now I also wanted to mention that this is the Canadian version. The Canadian version does not come with the power adapter that I purchased separately, or the batteries, which I'll show you the battery in there later when I open this up, but it does not come with the batteries. Now if you're buying our US version from the US Replica Airgun store, take note of what's actually included with each gun. I have two slightly different versions that shoot different feet per seconds and may or may not have different accessories. So just make sure to read through that if you're buying the US version. Now this gun comes fully assembled. Now it will not have the scope or this additional rail that gives the carry handle an even plane here. This little adapter here adjusts that height. Because you notice the carry handle has an angle to it, so if you were to put some sort of a scope on there, it would go in a downward angle. So you'll need this little adjuster. Now you can put a scope right on the sight rail here, but you may need a riser. I really like the position, having it higher. Normally I like my scopes to be very, very close to the gun, but with the design of the M4, I found that I was really cramping my neck in a really awkward position. Even with a slight raiser, I still wanted it to be higher. So having this setup seems to work, and the nice thing is I can still use the iron sights because you can see right through. There's an actual area that you can see straight through from your rear to your front sight, which is really cool. Now you'll notice that the tip of my gun has a black tip. I painted that myself. Normally it would come with an orange flash hider. Now taking it off was a bit of a chore, but it was recommended to me to heat this up with a hairdryer first, and then it makes the glue melt, which makes it much easier to take off. Alright, so let's get into some of the specifications for the King Arms Colt M4A1 all metal AEG airsoft rifle. Now this gun shoots the standard 6mm Airsoft BBs. You can get them in different weights. I'd probably recommend shooting at least a .20 gram or higher BB with this gun. It shoots up to 450 feet per second in the version that I'm showing you here today. Again, it uses an AEG system with an adjustable hop-up, and I'll show you that later. The magazine is removable. It's an all-metal magazine, and it holds 300 plus rounds in the magazine, and I'll show you that too as well, how to load it and how to manage the magazine. This fine airsoft rifle shoots in semi-auto and full auto selectable modes. It weighs about 6 pounds. And again, it has adjustable sights with 2 different peep sights in the back as well. Now this is a full-on replica of the Colt M4A1 carbine, and it's mostly metal where you'd find metal on the real gun. So the full receiver upper and lower are metal, carry handle is metal, the sights are metal, trigger is metal, magazine is metal, barrel is metal, the recoil spring area is metal. Only real nylon parts are the grips and the handles, and of course some internal parts. Now this has a 6-position rear stock. I'll show you that later. Again, it has the removable carry handle with Picatinny rail underneath, and it has the fully engraved Colt trademarks throughout. I'll show you that later while I show you around the gun. Alright, at this point we're going to take a quick look around the gun, show you around some of the parts. I'll explain some of the mechanical parts to you as we go through them. Alright, so let's take a close look at the receiver here. Now you'll notice that we have our charging handle. The dust cover bolt area will pop open, and you have access to your hop-up, this area right in here. And you can adjust that with a screwdriver to either give you more hop-up or less hop-up. More hop-up will make the BB actually curve in an upward angle, whereas less hop-up can either make it go straight or drop a bit. Alright, so let's take a look at the other side, because what I want to show you quickly is that this is the bolt release here. So when I push that, I'll show you that more later, but when I push that, you'll notice the bolt clicks forward just like a real bolt would click forward on the real M4. You can close your dust cover. Now this is a bolt assist right here, and on the real gun what this is used for is if your bolt doesn't go all the way forward, sometimes a shell can get a little sticky in there. This just helps you push the bolt forward. Now it doesn't really do anything on this gun because there's no real shell to worry about, but it's neat that it actually operates and you have the spring in there. Now on the real gun, this is the area where the recoil spring goes. That has to be on the gun. It's not really the stock. It has to be there. And so the stock is mounted over the recoil spring rod, I guess you'd call it. And you have a 6-position stock. Position 1. Position, well, let's start from the back. Position all the way back. 1. Well, I know there's 6 here. It's hard to get them all, but there are 6 positions. I know someone counted it off, but I like using it when I'm shooting in the all the way back position. Now there's a little bit of wiggle here. Some people have mentioned it on this gun, but then other people have also said the real M4 has a little bit of wiggle on it. So if you're an actual M4 user, please let me know if there's some wiggle. Same with the magazine. There's going to be a little bit of wiggle in there as well, but other people say that there's real wiggle on the real M4. All metal magazine, by the way. You notice you actually have, now this would be if I'm thinking you may be able to switch these positions around, but on this side there's no actual switch. It's on the other side. It's possible maybe to switch it around because there are the actual lettering here showing you the different modes. Alright, this would be your magazine ejector right there. Okay, and again, all metal carry handle. It's removable. I'll remove that for you later. I'm going to show you the battery later, but I wanted to just show you the nylon front stock area or foregrip area. You can see here there's some metal inside, and I believe that's a heat shield for the battery. All metal front sight, which is adjustable. All metal barrel with our NATO markings, 5.56 NATO rounds, just like the real steel. Again, here's my flash hider. It is plastic. You can get metal flash hiders, even suppressors for this gun. Nylon grip. And on the bottom you'll notice there's an adjuster. This is for the motor adjust, and what this does is adjust the height of the motor on the gear. So if you're getting a grinding sound, you can adjust that and take the grinding sound out. Now this gun seems to shoot just fine for me. We also have our strap rings here in the back and also in the front. I'll show you on the other side. Alright, let's flip it around. Now we have here our left side receiver, and I just really wanted to show you these beautiful Colt markings throughout. This is where that Hong Kong sticker was. You obviously want to take that off so you can see your markings. Your safety. Now I've checked this gun, there's nothing in it. Semi-automatic, full automatic, and again safe. Now this again is the bolt release here. I'm getting really close to my stand, so this is tough. But I wanted to show you some stuff here. Again, the nylon stock in the front. Here is our strap ring. Again, we're just repeating ourselves right there. Okay. Now to take off, I'm going to take this off really quick. Hopefully I can. There you go. Just wanted to show you. We'll keep that off for the duration of this video. But it has a nice metal Weaver Picatinny rail. You'll notice if you were to put something on there, it would be fairly low. You might need a riser of some sort. Depends on what kind of scope you're using. But I found that my face, I really had to tuck it in tight, and it was kind of awkward. So I really like having the carry handle on there. It seemed to work well. Plus, I have the advantage of being able to use metal sights. If, say, my battery were to die on my red dot, I could just go to the standard metal sights without having to take anything off. Really quite nice. While we have this off, I just want to show you the back. We have the PEEP sights, and you can either go with the very different size. Now when you actually got your scope off here, you can use this little notch here and line it up with your front sight, see if we can get there, to go for objects that are further down range. It's kind of cool. And you'll notice you have the really tight PEEP sight there, just to get in nice and tight if you're doing more accurate shooting. All metal, like I said. Really nice. Alright, at this point I'm going to just take out my magazine, show you that really quickly. Now to load this magazine, fairly easy. You just open this up, literally pour your BBs in, pour about 300 to 400 BBs inside there. And this will allow you to take BBs out. If you've got a few left, you can pull this open and pour them out, because once they get in there, they don't come out the back side, so you'll have to empty your magazine by pulling this inwards like that. Now once you've got BBs in there, you just push this forward and it actually tightens the spring up, compresses the BBs in the channel here, and then you can put a whole lot of BBs through there without having to wind up. Quite a few. Now you will need to periodically wind this, and you'll notice when you stop shooting, gun's not shooting anymore, you can keep winding this as you go. It'll actually make a clicking sound when it's pretty much as tense as it'll go, and it works quite well. See if we can focus here. There we go. All metal. It's not a heavy magazine, but it is all metal. Now to get to the actual battery, you pull this ring. I forget what the ring's called, but the ring allows you to access the battery. It just comes off. And these butterfly or nunchuck batteries are the best ones for this gun, for this particular model. So if you're buying the battery, try and get the nunchuck or butterfly batteries. They split into two sides. They seem to work the best. Uses the smaller connector, so be aware of that. Very simple and easy to install the batteries. And to put it back in, you just simply pull your ring back. Easier said than done. And let it go forward. There we are. And it's in. The batteries will add some overall weight to the gun. The gun, once you get your batteries, and believe it or not, once you have a fully loaded magazine, it does actually add a little bit of extra weight to the gun as well, because the BBs, 400 BBs, adds up. I'm just tightening this back up. Alright, so before I get into the pros and the cons, I did do a really quick abbreviated field test. Now I didn't record it. I am going to do a full field test of this gun and show you in real time what kind of performance I get with it. But my experience just going outside and playing around with it and getting used to it was that it shot very, very well. Here is my target. I did show this in the preview video. This is about a 1.5 inch group here. Let me just pull out the old ruler. Maybe 2 inch at the tops. So 1.5 to 2 inch. Now I wasn't really fixated on trying to get the best group possible. I was just playing around with it from 30 feet out in a semi-rested position, but it did very, very well. And then I put it on the chronograph quickly just to get an idea of what the feet per second was. Now using 0.20 gram BBs, and those are the same BBs I used on target, I got 415 to 420 FPS pretty consistently with it. So that'll give you a good idea of the real world performance, but stay tuned for my field test review of this gun, where I'll do a little more testing on it as well. Put it through a little bit more rigorous testing. Alright, so let's get into the pros and the cons. I found this gun has excellent attention to detail with lots of working parts. I love the fact that it has the full Colt licensing and markings, has the all metal upper and lower receiver. It's nice that it shoots in both semi-auto and full auto selectable. And it also has a nice high 400 plus feet per second, which might be nice if you're using this in outdoor fields. It's also very accurate, getting between a 1.5 to 2 inch group from 30 feet away. It also has a nice high capacity magazine, so you may be able to get by with just one magazine when you're using this gun. Also has the removable carry handle that's all metal with Picatinny rails underneath, in case you want to go with a different sight setup. Now again, if you are using the metal sights, they are fully adjustable, and you have the 2-position peep sights as well. The rear nylon stock is nice in that it has 6 adjustable positions, and I also like that the hop up is really easy to get to, and that the bolt opens up, giving you easy access and locks back so that you can adjust the hop up when you need to. Now some of the cons: the magazine and the rear stock seem a little bit loose. Now this may just be an M4 design, so it would be interesting to hear some feedback from other people that maybe own real M4s with this type of setup to hear if that is true with the real gun. Now the Canadian version does not come with the battery or charger, but if you're a hardcore airsofter, you're probably going to have a lot of this stuff already, so that may be a benefit for you if you've already got some high-grade batteries and chargers kicking around. Now again, I'd like to mention that these guns, because they come from the US, they had the orange tips. Now in Canada, you can remove them as long as the gun is classified as an unregulated firearm, which this one is because of the feet per second that it shoots. We're not required to have orange or red tips on the guns. In the States, you may have different laws, so you have to abide by your laws whether or not you need to have the orange tip or not. Now, this gun may be a little bit too powerful for skirmishes, especially indoor close-range shooting because of the high velocity, but you should be able to adjust the feet per second with some over-the-counter parts. Alright, so that wraps up this tabletop review of the King Arms Colt M4A1 metal AEG Airsoft rifle. I've had a lot of fun reviewing this gun, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with this gun. I'm hoping that maybe I'll get the opportunity to use this one in a skirmish down the road sometime. Now, if you're in the market for an airsoft rifle, we have this gun available in our Canadian and US Replica airgun store. Keep in mind, we also have a lot of other products, airgun related products there, available for you to check out and purchase. We also have tons of reviews and articles on the website, so make sure to check those out. Pretty much for every video that I make, I also do a written review or article, and in many cases there's some additional photos and things you can take a look at or read up on. Now, if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I've also got my Facebook and Twitter channels. Username is Replica Airguns. I hope you've enjoyed another Replica Airguns video review. Stay tuned for more information on this product and many more other products coming down the road. Until next time, take care and have a great day.